What does Gillette, Nike and Pepsi have in common? And how using the very same marketing technique, concept or approach can have totally or at least significantly different effects. Can you benefit from these techniques? Can you use them in your business? And what you should be on the lookout for in order to avoid potential trouble? Keep watching and see for yourself. In 2018, Nike launched a controversial advertising campaign featuring Colin Kaepernick, a former NFL quarterback who became a polarizing figure for kneeling during the national anthem to protest racial injustice and police brutality. The campaign's tagline was "Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything." The advertisement was part of Nike's 30th anniversary of the famous Just Do It campaign. So the Nike strategy here was relatively simple. So they wanted to stand behind certain social challenge. They wanted to show their involvement and their support for activism and athletes, not just sports performance. At the same time, they aimed to target a younger demographic, a group of consumers that is more diverse, more socially conscious, who value brands that take a stand on social and political issues. As you can imagine, campaign has received mixed reactions from the public, social media and celebrities. While some people praised Nike for bold stance and supporting Kaepernick's right to protest, others were not so eager to do so. So in response, Nike received a lot of social media praise and support throughout various channels and a lot of backlash. So people that viewed Kaepernick's protest as unpatriotic and controversial were calling for boycotting and even destroying Nike's products. People were burning shoes and then publishing videos on social media. Despite the initial controversy, Nike's decision to take such a bold approach have proven to be very efficient and very lucrative financially speaking. Company stocks went up and the sales also have increased. Another example of a company that has joined a particular social issue discussion or narrative was Gillette campaign from 2019 called "We Believe the Best Men Can Be." The campaign aimed to address and challenge toxic masculinity, bullying and harassment. The ad was also departure from the classic Gillette slogan, "The best a man can get," and included a series of scenes with men engaging in various behavior like bullying, sexual harassment and mansplaining, followed up by scenes in which men took a stance and did the right thing, so intervene in these situations and behaved in a, let's say, socially aware and fair way towards the victims. With this campaign, Gillette aimed to join a Me Too movement and the ongoing discussion that was happening at the time. They also wanted to encourage men to hold each other accountable for certain behaviors and certain actions that they might take. And here, similarly as Nike, Gillette aimed to target a younger demographic in order to show them that Gillette brand is socially aware and conscious to ongoing issues and problems. I think is very interesting about this campaign is the fact that a traditional brand took responsibility to join the narrative around certain social issue and decided to take a stand while at the same time showing a different perspective of masculinity that can be followed and can be positioned as a role model. And here, similarly to Nike, a lot of people have praised Gillette for taking such a socially aware stand on a particular issue and showing a different examples of masculinity, while others, those more traditional, argued that they are somehow stripping men out of the traditional roles, that they are showing those toxic examples and that this is totally unnecessary and so on. A lot of people, of course, called for boycotting Gillette products and encouraging switching to their competitors. Long-term financial impact for Gillette was mixed, but it for sure became the headline of the time. The third example of joining the current ongoing social narrative and trying to advertise on that was Pepsi's campaign featuring Kendall Jenner. So Kendall Jenner was leaving the photo shoot and joining a group of diverse and smiling protesters. Later on, she was standing between the police force and the protesters and handling them the bottle of Pepsi, which released magically the tension between the two groups and ended up the protest with a positive outcome. This campaign was widely criticized and became actually a case study for how not to create advertisement on social ongoing issues, because it may backfire. Pepsi ended up with pulling the ad completely. Ad was widely criticized for trivializing the protests around Black Lives Matter. Critics argued that the ad exploited these movements' imagery for commercial, which was widely seen as insensitive and tone deaf. So in all of the cases that I have presented today, you can see that you can actually build a very interesting, sometimes very socially appealing, especially to different groups and different generation, ad that will take a very clear stand on certain social issues. But as have been shown, at least I hope so, some of these campaigns may backfire, and especially if you have not narrowed down your target customers group and you do not know what kind of political agenda they are representing or what are their interests, this can be very tricky. So watch out if you plan to join the narrative, even if this is your personal stance as a business owner, you advocate for certain political or social issues, your customers might come from different demographics, different social groups, and therefore the campaign might not be as successful as you would expect. Another important aspect is being socially aware and socially cautious can be very tricky, also because these big brands have PR experts that are analyzing trends, analyzing behavior, and they have a lot of data that they are basing these campaigns on. If you do not have this data as a smaller business, it might be very tricky to catch the glimpse of what is that your audience is expecting or which way the political wind is going right now. But the last aspect that is, I think, very important is that in all of the cases, all of those brands have generated publicity, and at times I am actually wondering if it's not the case of publicity and only publicity in terms of big brands. So they, I think, sometimes intentionally stir things up in order to create the social media buzz and create arguments amongst consumers, because all of the tweets that are emerging, all of the videos, doesn't matter if supportive or burning stuff of a particular brand, they are actually generating more and more publicity. And most of the times it's free publicity, because the campaign, of course, is being run on television and social media, but all of the videos and all of the posts that are being born out of the sometimes very fired up discussions, they are being sort of a free of charge commercial for these brands. I am usually suspicious when it comes to these kind of campaigns. Let me know what are your thoughts in the comments section down below. Let me know if you think that the brands are doing this intentionally to stir things up. Let me know which of the campaigns that I have talked about today was the most memorable for you. Which one do you think is the most socially conscious? Which one is the most interesting? If this video was interesting for you, please do subscribe to our channel to help us grow, and let me know what other videos you would like us to create in the future. Thanks for watching and have a great day ahead.